happy Friday. Welcome back to a chapter a day. I hope you all had a wonderful week. And as always, if it was not that great, believe you me, there's better to come. And if it was great, praise the Lord. Today we're going to be reading Job chapter 5. Yesterday we read about one of Job's friends by the name of Eliphaz the Temanite. I'm not quite sure if he was trying to console Job or accuse Job of wrongdoing, because the way he went about it, he kind of suggested that, the innocent do not suffer for, like this, in other words. So whatever it is Job might have done, he's not innocent, okay? And next, that you usually reap what you sow. And in addition to that, he also proclaimed that God is fair. So you cannot blame God if judgment is falling upon you that you did nothing wrong. So in each of these cases, however he presented it, is like he's blaming Job for his situation, for his calamity. But we know better now. But when we are going through our stuff too, we start searching ourselves, or we should. And sometimes, other people may be thinking exactly like Eliphaz the Temanite, that we must have done something terrible to get God angry. Oh boy, let's see what chapter 5 says. Call now if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. So this is still Eliphaz the Temanite speaking to Job. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Verse 6. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born into trouble, and as the sparks fly upward, I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. Which doeth great things, and unsearchable, marvelous things without number, who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields. So all of these things he is talking about, telling Job to call now and see if there's any saints. I guess I'm not sure who he's referring to as saints who will answer him or whatever. And then he's going on. He has seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly he's cursed. So I guess everything he's saying here is pointing to that Job is not a righteous man. In everything he's saying, yet man is born unto trouble as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause. So it's like he's saying maybe Job isn't even connecting with God. He's saying he would seek God, as if Job is not. Okay? Okay. Let's continue on. Verse 11. To set up on high those that below, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So he's telling Job about all the things that God is capable of doing. Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. So right here we can see he's telling Job straight off, God is punishing you, and don't be sorry about it. It is for your own good. It's always easy to say when the ball is not in our court, so to speak. We can always have words of wisdom for others. Yeah. So this is what his friend is telling him. God is chastening you, and don't despise it because God knows why. Okay? Verse 18. For he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7. There shall no evil touch thee. He shall deliver thee, in verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Now I would say something, and I have read so many different verses that are supposed to console you. But I'm telling you, when you're going through calamities, all the stuff they say, he's saying here about laughing when disaster. Okay, let's see. Verse 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in his season. Lo, this we have searched it, so it is, hear it, and know thou it for thy good. So he's coming as though he's telling Job something that Job doesn't know. Job is a righteous man. If God was able to point Job out to Satan, Job is walking with God. Job has a relationship with God. There is nothing here that he said that Job does not know. And I would say this, that just gets me upset when I am going through a situation and people who I believe have less of a relationship with God than me are coming to give me spiritual advice about how God works and, the abilities or capabilities of God. Because I know what's taking place in my own life and I know my relationship with God. But there's sometimes you just have to sit and be quiet because if you try to say anything, it may just come off as though you're defending yourself. And usually when you try to defend yourself, people think you're even more guilty of wrongdoing. So Job, I guess, just has to take it all if he's even listening, but he's hearing him. And let's see what happens next. But yep, this is the advice from his friend Eliphaz the Temanite, giving instruction as to how God works. Yeah, how God works. And how God blesses those whom he loves, and he will protect those whom he loves, and then also God correcteth who he will. So I think he's not sure he's going 50-50. Either Job is at fault and God is chastening him, or God is giving him a test to, I don't know, or he's guilty, whichever one, whatever the case might be. But we already know Job's story. So like us, sometimes this is what happens. We have people who come at us thinking that they're trying to help us with the things they say. We already know our situation with God. But you let them speak because I guess they mean well. Okay. That's it for Job chapter 5 today. I pray you all have a wonderful weekend. Those of you out in the workplace should be so happy. The Sabbath is coming on us in another few hours. Some people around the world may already be seeing it, depending on your time zone. But it is the time, the 7th day. God said, rest. Keep the day holy. It's the only day he blessed and sanctified. You can worship on any day, but it's not going to be the Sabbath, and it's not going to be blessed like God blessed the Sabbath day. So, with that said, have a great rest of your day and your weekend ahead. And until our next reading, keep on listening because that's how faith will come and grow. Take care. Bye.